So, I have survived 1,000 days in hardcore Minecraft. 166 hours to be exact, and to be honest, I didn't think we would get this far. And in that time, we have built and built and built, and it was insane. But if you have seen these videos before, and they are a ton of videos slapped together called The Complete Story, this is not that. I will be going over my entire experience in my hardcore world so far. This video is insane, but a little long, so if you feel like clicking off right now, just leave it on in the background, and that would help me out a ton. Enjoy. This video starts out on this screen with a click of a button. I had no idea what I was doing. At the time, I just needed some food, and these pigs were asking for it. I needed to get cobblestone and place down a crafting table, the first crafting table of this world. But this turned out to be one of the best spawns I could ask for. A full flower forest full of hard-to-find flowers, and mob spawn not that often, and I walked like 10 blocks and found this. A village, which was now all that I could have asked for. Hay bales for food, and villagers could gear me up with full diamond armor because I was in 1.19. But mining is a very nostalgic way of playing the game, so I went with that. I know I could have saved some time through mindlessly mining sticks to trade with villagers for emeralds for diamond armor. Instead, I wanted to mine diamonds and then make myself my own diamond armor. But I got to the surface and imagined an amazing starter base, so I instead went with that. I got to building. And when I was done, I knew I would be able to come back here and feel nostalgia. But as well as my base went, I did not have a ton of space or gear, so I went adventuring. I could have stayed and mined more, but as much as I love this area, I did not want my main base to be here. So I set off with my stone tools and limited gear, and then found two places to live. One was on a coast, and I had a village beside it, and I could imagine a custom village and a city towering above everything. So I set up camp there, but in the other area, it was a peak of snow and a huge mountain, and this would turn out to be something much, much more. Now, I was lacking some video ideas. I put out my first video, but I needed a new idea. The ancient city. It also had the formidable boss called the Warden. I planned to build it, and this mountain was the perfect place. But we need gear. I transferred over some main resources from the camp and built a fishing cabin out of spruce on the shore. I also constructed an iron farm, but never ended up using this much. And I kicked it into overdrive. I also got feather falling on my boots from a villager. I still use this armor to this day, and I upgraded it to netherite. And where did this netherite come from? I mined it with like 3 hours of work. But anyway, I got a bow and an enchantment table and shipped it off to the peaks for construction of an empire. What we needed for this project was a flat area and a ton of deep slate. And the mountain would look cool, but didn't have a flat area. So the snow from a snow golem would do fine. We have the snow lined out, and we can make some space for us to get an entranceway done. And bam, there we go. We got the ancient city entrance done, and it looks like this, and it looks super cool because it has amethyst going inside of it. And we built a few houses, get deep slate, build a few more houses, watch EchoCraft Recrap, and that's it. Now we had this. So this bit just drops off, and the dangers under the city could kill me in a heartbeat. So I closed this off with a wall. I also found a village right next to it. I got some sweeping edge from these villagers, and then I was like, where do I store all of this deep slate? And then I took a little mine that I had made a while back and made storage base. Now, when I was building the mine to mine thousands of deep slate, I found a simple zombie spawner. So I hollowed it out and just made a zombie grinder. Just to make sure that I wouldn't lose this world, I made an enchanter and enchanted my armor with protection, unbreaking, and went over to get mending from my villagers. Now, this is the main centerpiece of the city. Now this is tricky, because I wanted to build it so it's recognizable, and it was something that had a touch of me too. Built it up and looked bad, but I knew just the right thing to do. I covered the entire statue in vines and it looked amazing. I also covered the rest of the city in mangrove roots and that looked also amazing. It all fit together and it looked crazy cool. But now I was in need of something different that would save me from most deaths. A totem of undying. I ran over and got Bad Omen from an outpost I had found earlier. Wait, nope, didn't get Bad Omen. Back over, got Bad Omen, and fought the raid. Finally done, but this would not nearly be as close to the end of the projects in this area, because a new update was coming, and it was 1.20. And I thought the new cherry blossom tree would be the perfect new project on my world. Now this tree looks amazing, but I wanted to scale it up a ton, and this would be the perfect centerpiece for this entire area. Now I need to tell you something. I have never made a project this big before, so I need a plan. I have heard of a mod that could give you blueprints of builds and it speeds up buildings tenfold. So I spent a while downloading it and world edit. I learned from this video from Shovel241. Go check it out. After this video. That would be good. So I changed all of these blocks into a mixture of glazed terracotta and pink glass. This will be important in a bit. The trunk of the tree is made of a mixture of dark oak wood and spruce wood to give it texture. But before I built it, I need clay to smelt it into terracotta, pink dye to dye the terracotta, and glass, because we need glass. And these all can be farmed, but holy cow, that's a ton. So we have to get started. This first farm is a farm for clay, made from shulkercraft. Okay, here's the little rundown. It takes dirt, converts it to mud, then into clay, and then blows it up in this blast chamber. Now we need a little flower farm. It's really simple. You don't have to look at it. Now I decide to build a bone meal farm to supply the flower farm, because it's a little low on bone meal, because it requires a ton. And I don't want to kill skeletons, because we're kind of in hardcore, and it's like, I'm kind of ranting right now, so just next clip. Alright, now that a bone meal supply has been formed, we need a tree farm, because it can use a ton of bone meal. But it will supply us with all of the logs that we will need for this project. And I might have just dug out an entire lake because I needed so much dirt. And that's not at all a waste of time. So now we're going to get started on the trunk of the tree. And this would be the main part that will help me get the leaves done. And look at this schematic. I don't think I've shown you this. The schematic is huge. All right, now that all the resources are done and collected, we can get started on the tree. Alright, now that the trunk is done, we need more glass and more terracotta. So I collected all of the terracotta and all of the glass, and now let's build it up. And if it seems staggered, I had to go to school, so here's a time lapse. And well, it took forever, but it looks cool. And just for you, I am done. And it took 7 hours, but it looks amazing. Alright, now that I did that, I just wanted to do another project. Now, I had no base, and at this point, our chess master was taking over. I needed to deal with this by leaving it for another 1,000 days. But what I need right now is an elytra, because building that tree was horrible, and it would make it so much funner of an experience to make my main huge base. I had held off on this for a long time because the normal Minecraft experience was fun, but going up and down all of the time was tiring. And in retrospect, I don't know why I didn't get it sooner. And actually, I know why. The Ender Dragon. This is known as Minecraft's greatest filter, but it took 15 minutes. And then is the Void, which is even more scary because I have a totem of undying, but it doesn't work for the Void. So if I fall in, one miscrouch and I am dead. One slip up and you fall in. But I used my blocks carefully, bridging, placing all of them until I got to an end city. I shot down the guardians of this place, shulkers, who drop shells that can be crafted into boxes for transporting materials. I made my way up, looted the elytra, and on day 300, now I could fly. I had brought mending and unbreaking right away so I would not fall out of the sky, and I flew back to the newly opened end portal. And I was greeted with spawn. Because I had not been back here in months, all of the grind and start of the world flooded back to me. And now I had wings, so I took off, flew to the cherry blossom, and looked over all that I had worked on. But it was just day 300. I had a lot more to go. So I went to bed that night, feeling accomplished, and woke up and found a shirt in my dresser. And this shirt had 30 items on it. And I feel like this would be the perfect thing to build my farms. To clickbait with, but it would provide everything we needed for the new base. Except a couple things. And now, looking back on it, I should have just stayed where I was because my world feels disconnected on day 1000. But I had found a swamp, which is a witch hut with 2 villages. So I flew over and got the witch hut put around a box, and instead of clearing out an entire area, I just made this simple little farm. And it produces me gunpowder, redstone, glowstone, bottles, and spider eyes. Wouldn't want to forget that. Then I constructed a raid farm, and then I was gonna build a slime farm. Okay, for context, I need a base, and this chest monster would not do. So I went exploring, and considering putting my base here, but it would be too concentrated, and I did not have that spark anymore. The spark is when you get up in the morning and you're like, I want to work on this. Every moment you are thinking, how could I improve? How could I do this? And how can I get more time to work on this amazing project? So to get that spark back, I wanted to drain an ocean monument, build it into a giant base, and then I would have that amazing base I always needed. So I found one, and I would drain it and turn it into my base, but that required slime. So I found a slime chunk. And no slime spawned in the farm. I tried for 2 hours. I just gave up. I considered another design that also works in a swamp, and it worked fantastic. But you know, like, just in case, I checked the other one, and it was filled up with slime balls. But you know, this is a good thing, because I have 2 working farms now. I spent so much time on that. But next is the trident, which will be amazing, but it took so much time that I can't even explain it except putting all of the stuff on the screen right now. And you get the gist. It saved me a ton of rockets, and I finished some of the items, but it was not fun to get. I can propel myself in water like Poseidon, and that's pretty cool. We have everything done, and we can get started on our mega base. It has to be farm efficient, not too laggy, and look amazing. And mega. Alright, it's time to get serious. We need more space than the sky, the ocean. So now we need to exterminate all of this water. So that's 600,000 blocks of water. We built up the slime farm, but now we need somewhere for the water not to flood. So we need an extraordinary amount of sand. And conveniently, there's a farm that does not do. It makes sand through the end portal. So I built it up and made a bunch of sand. Then I placed it around the monument and drained it. And this looked really cool, but we basically need to make a perimeter once all of this is done. So we marked out the edges of the perimeter with this giant circle made of mud. The reason we can't have any water in here is because we're going to be blowing up the entire ocean floor. So the water will prevent the explosions. And I'm going to get placing with the sand now. So I would just place the sand, put on Gilmore Girls, watch like 12 episodes, then procrastinate. Then I would just get the song stuck in my head, and then I will just spare you all of the time that I've spent on this placing of sand. I would just start hallucinating of all of the sand I have placed. I decided to draw the end product on a piece of paper and color it in. It looked crazy, and it gave me that spark again. Now, let's get back to work on the sand placing. And something unexpected happened. High school. I did not have much time for training anymore, so I went nearby to a shattered savanna to live out the rest of the 1,000 days. I built up a little house on top of the mountain. I wanted to make something that I was proud of and didn't just destroy. I constructed a manual bee farm, and these guys look so cute. And then I built a little place for villagers who make a ton of noise. And all of these things I decorated, which made me love these things a lot more. I built a library that I can hang out in. I didn't even know I was getting close because I was just working on the library and I hit 1,000 days. Over the past year, my voice has changed, my content has evolved, and I have done many projects. I have loved my world for so long, and it would be amazing to see what it evolves into. I have never worked as much as I have on a single world or project, but this will not stop here. And what I love most is the people that are experiencing that with me and the hundreds watching my videos. I am Batman. There always was.